Hello. Today I'm going to explain how to build your podcast project. So you have a podcast. You really want to build something to communicate your ideas. Uh, you're thinking about to interact with people, and will you think that will be good to have those messages in sound files so people can consume that. It is a trend that people are consuming audio files while they are working. So as they are working with the computer, they are listening to something. They are listening to audiobooks, they are listening to podcasts. So they're kind of multitasking. I don't really know if you need to concentrate, but for many types of tasks, you can do two things at the same time. So you first need to have some motivation because you're gonna need some persistence. So you need to be motivated to say, okay, I commit, do this every day or every week at the same time, because your audience, the guys you're listening to your podcast, they need to expect something. So the best thing is that you commit to a schedule. So say every Tuesday at 7, we are the podcast. We are doing things. You can do many things in sound files. For example, if you are working in a team, you could share some of your brainstorming meetings, the idea meetings, how you work meetings, as long as they are not top secret, because that way external people can have an idea of how you guys work. Actually, it's great branding because people know how you interact with ideas, the great ideas that your team is having. So that's kind of a good idea. Also, you can externalize some of the audio that comes inside your company, so that other people can consume it. This is good for the branding because it's kind of it's good for relativity. So people are more into inside your office, and they identify themselves with you. So that's also a good idea. You can have interviews with experts. You can have panels with 3 or 4 experts talking on a topic. The good thing about the panels is that you need to network. And since in the podcast you need to network anyway, that thing is really good because you network with some people that attend your panels to discuss topics, and then you will attend their podcast with their discussions. So it's a pretty good thing. Which come the next thing, you need to distribute your podcast. So the first thing you need to do is the first thing is the motivation. Then you need to have some equipment. You need a microphone, one like this. That's not very expensive, so don't spend too much money on a microphone because it makes no sense because you're starting out. Don't spend $100 or $200 on a fancy microphone. You can do that as you grow. So the second thing you need to do is to say, okay, how am I gonna edit my sound files? So you need to have some software that you are recording the sounds with them, and then you can edit the files, cut here, cut there, and that kind of thing. There's some free tools like Audacity that you can use. It's a great start. So there you have a low-cost microphone, you have Audacity, which is free. So you can also go free with SoundCloud, which is is a distribution platform, but it's also offering hosting. So you can host your audio files there too. Or you can use other professional hosting services, which are just for hosting audio files. like lip sync. We're gonna see this in a while. And then, okay, you got your equipment. Then you need to have good content. But yeah, it's having great content, but being very persistent. You need to define your playlist. For example, brainstorming sessions, meetings, interviews. Yeah, just be innovative, come up with new ideas, new names. Uh, Define the names that are catchy for the people, because people need to see you. And your playlist is a brand, so you need to have some marketing there. Also, the podcast name is a brand, so you need some good marketing name, something that brings people in. So as you go along, you're gonna bring people. They're gonna start listening to you. If you provide great content, they're gonna share it to their friends, and that way you are gonna increase in. So you need to distribute. The first thing is to distribute through your blog. So make sure you have those banners at your blog where you can redirect people to the blog, to the podcast, when they are reading some blog article. So as they read something, you can say, okay, click in this this episode that we are talking to learn more. We are talking more about this topic. The next thing is to partner with other bloggers and other media entities to distribute your content. So start just creating content. Spend a few weeks creating content until you have 5, 10 episodes, and then start networking with people that so they can consume your content. And that's pretty much it. Be persistent, have the right, the microphone, the Audacity. Of course, you can have Adobe suite products that cost you money, but you want to start with low cost. Just get a low cost microphone, the Audacity. You are able to record and edit those files. You push them to the SoundCloud. I'm gonna show you some of these services. So this is the Audacity, where you can edit your files. You can download it here from the site. You download it, install it in your computer, and you're able to record and host. This lip sync is pretty good. ClickFunnels is using that. Gary Vaynerchuk, so it's a good option. The hosting is not very expensive, so it's only $5 per month. So it's a good option to start. And then you have the SoundCloud, which has a free service you can try out. You can host there your files, and then you have the Apple iTunes. In the iTunes, you need 5 episodes in order to create a podcast. Makes sense, because you need to have content. So those are the different methods and different things that you can do. So I hope you enjoy, and I hope that your podcast project goes from idea to execution and you are very successful. As always, do more and move faster in market. Make sure to comment below in the comments to let me know your experiences, if you're planning to create a podcast, any feedback on anything you would like to add. And I look forward for your comments.